Principal of Kokrajhar Government College, Dr. Pratibha Brahma, Honorable Resource Person of today's red letter day for all of us, Dr. Sonaram Baglari, retired Associate Professor, Department of Philosophy, Janta College. Respected appointed speaker and resource person of today's observation of Students' Day, Dr. Sushanta Narjari, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of History. Respected Associate Professors, distinguished guests, dignitaries, and my dear students of Kokrajhar Government College. At the very outset, I would like to convey you all my best wishes. Good morning. Gibiaunu boy khobor ani goso gorboniफ्राय ani onnai aru sibinaयखौ बावबाय खुलुमबाय प्रथमते মই सबके मोर आन्तरिक हृदयर পৰা नमस्कार जासिछु सम्मान जासिछु प्रणाम and of course it's a great day for all of us. Today 31st March is being celebrated and is being observed as a Students' Day across the state. And today is the birth anniversary, 67th birth anniversary of a great and novel soul whose life history shines like a brightest stars, who fought for the marginalized, who fought for the subjugated, who fought for the downtrodden. And in his short span of 34 years of his life, he is an example of youth icon. He is an example who has established that a student leader at such a prime age, young age, can be a voice of the marginalized, can be someone who speaks for their all-round development. So, his life, his philosophy, and his creating awareness, and his bringing the whole marginalized section of people, not only Bodos. He is today remembered as a great leader who was born amongst the Bodo community, and he fought for the Bodo community, being one of the oldest community of this entire region. But when he came to know about the plight of the Bodos, he felt that a community with such a glorious history, with such a glorious contribution to the civilization, who ruled this whole area, are hills and valleys, the rivers, the lands, the nomenclature itself stood as an evidence of the significance of this Bodo community and other marginalized tribes. He felt, and his voice came from voice came from the very inside of his heart, that he should raise voice and bring back the glory of not only the Bodos but other indigenous tribes of this entire Northeast region, which holds great significance with the entire nation. A very unique reason we can say of this Northeast. 96 boundaries, 96% of the boundary is along in the international border, and only 4% of our boundary connects with our India. And yet, with such a strong spirit of nationalism, Bodofa Upendranath Brahma, he felt that the voice from this region also should be listened in Delhi, which at that time was Delhi bahut dur hai. But it is because of the contribution of these leaders. Today our leader can proudly say Delhi bahut paas hai. So, recognizing his contribution to the revolution he undertook, with the indomitable spirit, he could make people understand at that point of time. Our Honorable Chief Minister of Assam, and under the initiative of the leadership of course, we should take his name, our Honorable Chief Executive Member of BTR, Sri Pramod Boro. Today we are very proud, we feel very privileged, not only being as a Bodo community, but being from this area, being from this region, that the entire region of Assam, especially the educational institutions, especially the learning centers, where our students are the future citizens of tomorrow. They will have to take their responsibility as tomorrow's leader, that today, 31st March, 67th birth anniversary of Bodofa Upendranath Brahma is being celebrated as a Students' Day. And as a student, we all should take pledge today that as a leader, as a today's leader, as a today's educated person, what you perceive your area, your community, your society to be tomorrow. This is the pledge you should take, and this is the significance of observation of Students' Day. And Bodofa's life history itself is so inspiring. Bodofani Ziu Khorang Rana Badi Turunga Muntau motivation. It gives us great motivation. Azize Ami Satro Dibo Palon Korias. Teketor life history but tekete student hisabe. Eneka iman kostoto. Tekete success hobo parise. Heitue bahut dangor udaharon. So everyone should know everyone should know his life history and get inspired with his life history. You know, he, at a very young age, he was the last and the fifth son in his family. And his siblings, both his elder brothers and both his elder sisters, did not get the facility of getting education. Because at that point of time, you know, the entire movement, if we see that 92 Charter Point of Demand, if we read and if we go through it, if you see, 90% was very simple, small demands for us to get educated. Because education and getting knowledge is the only one which can remove the darkness of ignorance. And once this darkness of ignorance is removed from our inside mind, we become the agency and facilitator of giving light or enlightenment to our near and dear ones. So this he understood, and so his father also understood, and in spite of all the odds, he got the opportunity of going to school, but with great hardship. You know, he was born in Boragari, and in Boragari, I would like to request our college principal also and the teachers, if a trip can be given to the students so that you go and see and get knowledge and get enlightenment about his life. If you go in his home, in his residential home, you should know about him. You know, Boragari, and he had to struggle to even get education in the primary level also. And in the middle level also, he had to struggle so hard. And he felt at that time, he was not very satisfied where he studied as a student in the middle school. He was not very satisfied in Dotoma. He wanted to shift in Kokrajhar. He was himself, like what to say, a very thinking mind, a great thinking mind. He was so curious, he was so inquisitive to learn, to build up his capacity, that he did not feel satisfied in the school where he studied, and he went and studied by himself, and he felt that Shakti Ashram in Kokrajhar, Shakti Ashram, which was a vocational and high school established by Yoganand Guru Swamiji. He liked that institution and he wanted to study there. But unfortunately, his principal, his teacher, his headmaster did not want to give him a certificate because he was a very, very good student. And so he went and convinced the Guruji. And Guruji instructed and directed the headmaster to admit him in Shakti Ashram High School. And he could polish his mathematics skill and his English skill from that institution. And he had great difficulty even in buying books. He used to borrow from his friends. But when he felt that his friends will be affected because of his habit of borrowing the books, he again thought out another plan. How do I get more knowledge? And he used to go and he got a plan, and he decided to miss his school on Wednesdays, a market day in Dotoma. And he used to, in Sri Guru library, he used to go, he used to read the books, he used to note down, and the librarian, he was very surprised why this boy used to come every Wednesday. And he convinced him about his plight and about his inquisitiveness, about his curiosity, about his eagerness to learn. So this itself is an example for every student who are sitting here. And that book stall owner, he helped him a lot. And he could pass with good numbers even at that point, even in those days. He wanted to come and study in Kokrajhar Multipurpose Higher Secondary School. Can you even imagine the plight? Only 30 kilometers from his home. But he could not come here because there was no road. We have big Gaurang River here. He had to go through Sarfanguri via Karigaon to come and study in this Kokrajhar Multipurpose School. So he could not afford that. See the plight at that point of time. See the condition of this area, not very far behind. After independence, during 1970s, early 80s. So this condition itself gives us an idea. It triggers us to think why this revolution was very, very necessary. Why this revolution revolution was very, very significant. Today our students are not understanding the importance of this Kokrajhar multi-purpose school. And it's in a very bad shape today. I feel very bad when I go and visit that institution. I think it is the responsibility of the teachers, students, parents, society to keep those institutions in good conditions even today. So, otherwise, what is the meaning of the revolution that was taken up by Bodofa? So, and he passed his matric exam with very good numbers in first division. In spite of not having money, he took the risk with the help of his friends, with the help of his relatives, to study in the premier institution of Northeast Cotton College. And struggling, fighting against all odds, he passed out from Cotton College, he post-graduated, and in between, when there was Assam movement, when he got his time, he even studied in Kokrajhar Government College, and he passed his MIL, he graduated his MIL from Kokrajhar Government College. So we are very privileged. I was a student of this Kokrajhar Government College. So Bodofa also happened to be a student of this Kokrajhar Government College, and we all feel so privileged. And when he did not join in APSU from the very beginning because he wanted to gather knowledge. That was his first intention. And when he went to Cotton College, he first involved himself with all the educational activities. He became the editor of Mouthpiece, Bidang Sri. He became the editor of Mouthpiece Orki, Fire. And he, in letter and spirit, enlightened the community with the fire of his knowledge. And then, when he felt that he was mature enough to lead the community, after understanding the conditions, the plight, the tribal belt and block, the condition where we were, just to develop the language, the condition of all the tribals, he joined as an APSU. He first joined as a vice president, then he became the president, he became the 8th president of APSU in Rota, and there was no looking behind in the revolution he undertook. He brought the whole community, not only the Bodos, the whole tribal communities, the whole indigenous communities in one single fold. And he showed an example that why it is the need of the downtrodden to raise for the whites. Just to live as a respected human being, so that we can bring development in our socio-economic condition, so that we can work for our literature, so that we can develop our language. Today we have not new education policy. He knew about new education policy long time before, and he said nothing is more sweet than the mother tongue. And he was very upset when Assamese language was imposed to all the communities in Assam in 1986. He said that I love Bodo language. It is the sweetest language. And for every community, their mother tongue is the sweetest language. So along with Bodo language, along with Assamese language, it is the responsibility of the nation, of the state, to develop the languages of all the communities. And since Bodo was one of the community, a vibrant community who was fighting Bodo Sahitya Sabha, who were leading this language movement also, he felt it very necessary that we should raise voice against this imposition. And today, because of his far-sightedness, because of his vision, Bodo language is one of the languages in the 8th schedule. Today it's a recognized languages. And because of his contribution, today we are celebrating Lit We are celebrating knowledge based. And he fought for our land rights. He fought for our land rights, and when he witnessed that all these tribal wells and blocks were being dismantled systematically, he felt it is the duty of the tribal leaders and the indigenous leaders and well-wishers to come and speak on this regard. And today, because of his initiative, sixth schedule, because of his initiative, initially, even though he lived for a very short time, though he died very young on 1st May of 1990, he died very young, but his thoughts, his philosophy, his movement, his leadership, it was so strong. He established such a strong leadership on the ground that he became mortal. His philosophy became mortal. And though he was not there physically, we felt that he was always behind us. A spirit who was giving us motivation, inspiration to move forward. And because of that inspiration, in 1993, BAC was formed, but it failed. And second accord was signed in 2003, and we still have more stronger strict schedule today after the signing of third accord, the peace accord, because this signing of third accord in 2020 is very, very significant, because it has under its umbrella, all militant groups, they have come forward to sign this accord, and today we are witnessing peace. And today it is time and it is responsibility of all our students, leaders of the society to come forward and work for the development of this area. And his philosophy was also very unique. He felt that APSO alone cannot move forward in the movement. So he had very close connection in spite of conflicts. He had very good connection with ASU leaders. He had very good connection with all the leaders from the entire Northeast, Nagaland, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Tripura, and they consulted and took his advice. And in fact, when he spoke in Delhi in the first roundtable conference, many of our mission leaders, many of our Tiva leaders, he said, a tribal messiah is born. And so we don't have to worry. He will wise for us. And today, because of his contribution, we are enjoying all the learning institutions in this entire area. We have CIT, we have engineering college, we have university, we have so many premier learning institutions, and it is because of his inspiration from the third accord also. If you see the annexures, this third accord is filled up with clauses which are all institutions, learning institutions, from medical college to veterinary college to forest training college to NIT to Bodofa Central University, and it's all because of his contributions. And interestingly, he believed in nationalism, but he also believed in socialism. Isn't it very interesting? Nationalism, there is a conflict between nationalism and socialism. He felt without the love for your community, without the love for your community, you can't serve for the nation. But at the same time, though you are nationalist, you will also take care so that the downtrodden and the marginalized are not subjugated. Like the whole community was subjugated. So he believed in both nationalism and socialism. And he wanted that if a new state was formed, and if a new state is formed, that there should be a balancing act between nationalism and socialism. And he believed in the rural development. So when you read his memorandum, when you read his speeches in different conventions, you'll find that he always spoke for women empowerment. He always spoke for youth leadership. Though in Bodoland movement, the slogan of Bodoland 50-50 became very strong. But if you read his speeches in all the conventions, he will always mention about the spirit of equality, about the spirit of youth leadership, about the spirit of development, all-round development, not only for the Bodo communities, for all the communities. And he believed that we as a responsible citizens should always have love, not only for your own self, but for others also. That is why his slogan of live and let live became though he adopted the slogan, it became very popular through his speeches and through his leadership. And today, it's my privilege that I'm here speaking in this seminar hall of Kokrajhar Government College. I congratulate the entire, along with our principal, Dr. Pratibha Brahma, and other professors, dignitaries, and students. I congratulate you all. Today we are celebrating and observing birth anniversary of this great soul, Bodofa Upendranath Brahma, who dedicated his entire life for the development of his community and who united the Bodos of the world, and that is why he has been conferred the title of Father of the Bodos, and today this has been recognized across the country. All our prime leaders of India today, if we speak about our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Sharma, everyone takes his name, Bodofa Upendranath Brahma. And he, when he was on his dying bed, he spoke out. We have innumerable number of very inspiring quotes from him, but he got it. I'm not worried that I'm going to die. He suffered from terminal illness, and on his dying bed he said, I'm not worried, I'm going to die. Moiser mori mor duk nai. Anzetri langan ahazeba dukugia. Kintu ahadu kuthagan. Judi angni santua gaman hai gumur langba. But I'm worried if my ideology, if my vision is not taken care of tomorrow, if it is forgotten tomorrow, because if that ideology is forgotten, if that vision is forgotten, we will lose our identity as the community. We will lose our identity as the indigenous people, Khilonjia of this area, and we will lose the spirit of preserving our natural resources, our heritage, our culture, our language, the beautiful Bagurumba dance, the beautiful Bihu dance, the beautiful Kokrajhar dance, Rabha dance, Garo dance. So with this, I end my speech. Thank you so much, Gazanthan. Dhanyabad.